I'm nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah.
So many unnecessary comments.
See, the whole shape is just yeah, I know. Okay, take it.
What was your most embarrassing / funniest moment of high school?
My most embarrassing high school memory, it's really awkward, but it was again in Mr. Flynn's class, and it was for a final, and I was late, which already like the tensions were high, the room was quiet, and I was that awkward person like trailing in like after the time, which you're not supposed to do. But I came in, and then I was like so like stressed and embarrassed, and I sat down, and when I sat down, I farted right in front of you, Hugh, and I'm so sorry.
Probably when I sent the school into a lockdown because I went into anaphylactic shock after eating hazelnuts, and everyone was wondering why we were in sit tight for like an hour. It was because I was being carted out on a stretcher.
Getting a 14% on my first quiz in Algebra 2.
My most embarrassing memory would probably be the fact that I fell asleep in pretty much almost every single one of Mr. McKenzie's classes.
My last basketball game, I got tripped and fell on my face. It was such a hard fall, and the whole crowd was just like, oh. During the parade this year, I drove my electric car into the wall and I ended up hitting someone.
Probably crashing Matt Nelson's car. Like really bad.
Probably wearing a onesie on pajama day. I didn't like that too much. It was really hot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so sophomore year, I just got my license, right? And I was driving around with my friends in the car, and I was like pulling up to the parking lot, and I was like talking to my friends, wasn't paying attention parking, and I hit a cinder block. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I hope nobody saw that. It was so embarrassing.
Freshman year of homecoming, I was in Arts AV, and I painted myself entirely blue because I was an avatar. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess probably the most funny moments is generally Wheel Unfortunate in general. Like, it's just a great, time to be able to just like, kind of show, like, in a sense, a different side of me, to be able to exercise my voice and just, do all these funny punishments, whether it be, shoving Caroline's face in snow or having Landon throw water at me. It's always just, a fun experience.
Probably when I first wore a skirt to school.
Probably Mr. Moore crashed in the Daly's truck.
Me, Adrian, Cooper, Jacoby, and Ian got sent to the office and had to call our parents because he brought a carton of sugar for lunch.
Probably getting charged during flag football and getting knocked on my butt.
When I was a freshman, I didn't know how to do long jump, so I didn't realize that you're supposed to kick your legs out and then land with them in the pit, so I just jumped out and landed flat on my tailbone in front of everyone.
The funniest probably memory I have was, this kind of goes pretty far into detail, but we found this one like old football, and we put a lot of like really disgusting foods in it, and it kind of let it sit out for around 8 months, and we put it in the boys' bathroom and closed it for a couple days.
What are your plans after high school?
My plans after high school is in August, I'm moving to Wyoming, and hopefully I'll just be able to travel and work my way through life and just kind of have fun all the way through it.
Possibly dental hygiene or cosmetology.
Hopefully to weld for either NASA or SpaceX.
I think I'm going to travel the world, experience different cultures, party, live it up, who knows. Then get my electrical engineering degree or whatever feels comfortable.
Going to a college down in Florida.
I plan to go to Northern Arizona University. I'm gonna get a film and creative media degree, bachelor's. Then I'm gonna try and make it as a video productions director.
Maybe to Virginia Beach to go to cosmetology school.
To go on my mission for 2 years and then come back and go to college for soccer.
Going to Biotech and working.
I want to be an iron worker, make a lot of money, have a big house, no kids.
You know, eat, sleep, wake up, swim a little bit, maybe. Go grocery shopping, enjoy the sun. Get dressed, that's a big one.
I plan on going to college for a year here, and then I plan on transferring over to University of Vermont.
Make money.
That's a tomorrow problem.
Overall, who is your favorite teacher?
Favorite teacher? You know, old me would have said Mr. Hamlin, you know. Yeah, he was a great teacher, but I think honestly the newest replacement, Mr. Evans, is debatably superior.
Miss Eilers, of course. I love her. And she gets to know people personally, and she's just a great teacher.
Miss Eilers, she's the one that's been there supporting me through everything and helping me figure out what I wanted to do with my career.
Miss Eilers is definitely my favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher was Miss Eilers. Probably the same with a lot of people. She's super open, super honest. I can talk to her about anything.
Definitely Mr. Moore or Mr. Shannon.
Moore. Mr. Moore is upfront, funny, and helps out.
Marcotte and Opie. They just don't really care. That and Marcotte's fun.
My favorite teacher is probably Mr. Opie. There's something about his dry sarcasm. It's what I like in a teacher.
Mr. Opie's really cool. I like him. He always made me laugh.
Mr. Opie.
Mr. Opie.
Probably Mackenzie or Opie.
That's easy. Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie. We've had a lot of conversations that were pretty funny, so.
Mr. McKenzie.
Definitely Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie.
Mr. McKenzie.
I'd have to say Miss James. Her sense of humor and just interests are very similar to mine, so we get along pretty well.
Mr. B or Mr. Moore, definitely.
Mr. Moore, Mr. Shannon, Mr. Boyarsky.
I have multiple, but either Miss Brown or Mr. Boyarsky.
Mr. Boyarsky.
Mr. Johnson.
My favorite teacher's gotta be Mr. Johnson.
It's probably Mr. Johnson, because he's done a lot for me.
What was your biggest accomplishment from high school?
My biggest accomplishment was winning the first ever wrestling state championship for Hutch.
I don't know my biggest accomplishment, but one of my favorites was when Mr. Flynn underlined one of the words I used in an essay. It was whom, because it was just I don't even know if it was how I was actually supposed to use it. I just thought it sounded fancy, and I was a stupid freshman. And he was like, well, I don't know a lot of freshmen who would use this word, and blah, 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 blah. So I just thought it was cool.
My biggest accomplishment is my grades. I've had a 4.0 since middle school, and I hope to keep it all the way to the end.
Biggest accomplishment? Passing PE.
Scoring 1,000 points in basketball, of course.
Going to state, getting second at regionals.
Okay, so freshman year, we won state for track, and we got this plaque, and I really didn't help. Honestly, I did not do good. It was freshman year, I was not good at track. And they have the plaque, and they go to hand it to someone, I just walk up and I just grab it. I just hold the flag. That was pretty cool.
Finishing the yearbook with only a group of 3, because that was really hard.
Probably passing process tech at the college, trying to get my associates done within graduating.
Getting extra credits on math and things like that, doing good in math mainly.
I finally started driving. My biggest accomplishment, I always wanted to do that. That, and I started working, and I can swim 25 seconds now. That's pretty good. That's always proud of that one.
Probably buying a four-wheeler for $1 and then fixing it up to the point where it runs really well. I mean, I got my license. That was pretty good. I thought I was gonna pass, or I thought I was gonna fail that, my driving test. So driving, got a car.
Hopefully graduating, but just surviving every year, I guess.
Who was your first high school crush?
And then if you want to answer, you don't have to. Who was your first high
Tucker.
school crush?
My first high school crush ever was probably Dominic Naiva.
First high school crush? Tucker Wong. So hot.
Dom.
My first high school crush was Logan Heim.
Being honest, Robin Parker, you know, she was the first significant one for me.
My first high school crush was Sophia Berg.
I think it was Dominic. Dominic Neva, is that his last name? Yeah, I think he was my first high school crush, which is really funny.
My first high school crush was AP macroeconomics.
My first high school crush was Gwendy Paniak.
Me.
Jacob Groves.
I probably shouldn't repeat that.
Serena. I don't know her last name.
Bree Majors.
It's got to be Grace Hallbrooks, definitely. But don't put that anywhere, okay? We're not putting that anywhere.
Do you want to send a shout out to anyone?
Okay, I shout out my mom because she has been through a lot.
Shout out to my therapist for getting me through this. Kathy, I love you.
Shout out to Russell Reynolds. Yeah. Oh, Chad, my man Chad over there, best friend since like 7th grade. Yeah.
Shout out DJ AP, Cooper Uranaga, Jacopi, and Big Ian.
Hi, Mom, if you're there in the graduation ceremony.
Mom, thank you for always helping me through my high school. You helped me through some pretty rough times and helped me get to where I am today, so thank you.
Is this for the graduation? What?
Delilah Albert, you're supposed to be here with me. I'm mad at you, and I also miss you. So.
Mom, Dad, thanks for keeping me through it and keeping me on the grind.
It's for senior awards.
What is that?
It's like something we do a few days before we graduate.
Where?
At school.
And I want to shout out to Miss Eilers, Mr. McKenzie, you guys are both great, and my mom.
I would like to shout out my little sister, Ava Wells. She is coming here next year, and I would just like all the faculty members to know I have set the bar, and I would like her to surpass it. And that can be in any way, shape, or form that she desires. I want her to be herself. I want her to develop. I want her to develop into the person she wants to be. So, yeah, Ava, I'm shouting her out.
Hey, Mr. Johnson! Thank you for pushing me these 4 years, because I needed it.
Oh yeah, Caroline wanted a shout out. So Caroline, I like to thank myself. My parents are pretty cool. They did a lot. All my friends at Hutch, go Hutch.
Shout out to my homies and my family for being there for me.
I'd like to make a shout out to Sidewalks for keeping me off the streets.
W to my mom. Shout out to Paige Talvey.
Shout out to the homies, my parents, my brothers, and my grandparents.
Oh, well, hi, Mom, if you're at school during that time, which I doubt you will be.
I want to say like a big thank you to my entire senior class, specifically like who I've gone through since freshman year, because I guess we've seen each other all grow up and we've been through hard things, even just like COVID and the normal high school experience itself, and I could not ask for a better community and team to go through this with. Even if we're not incredibly close, I just feel so loved and touched by every single one of you, and I could not ask for anything better, so thank you.
What was your favorite high school memory?
Favorite high school memory? All of it.
Man, there's been so many. Just getting to know everyone personally, it's been an incredible experience just getting here and just being with everyone. I mean, I like to think of everyone as my friend, and I hope they feel the same way. Memories here, I've grown a lot with everyone, just laughing with them personally and having a great experience overall.
If I had to pick a favorite high school memory, I'd probably go with freshman year after Mr. Opie's finals. Me and like a bunch of other kids just like sat around, just like a Switch playing Super Smash Brothers, and that was pretty fun.
Probably getting to play volleyball with my dad as the coach. That was really fun.
Going to Anchorage with Akadeka.
My favorite high school memory was when I was just brand new in Miss Mackenzie's class as a freshman, and he was chucking licorice at everybody, his red vines, and he looked at me and he said, I chuck it extra hard at the IT kids because I know they can't catch.
My favorite high school memory was playing all 4 years with like all my best friends.
Probably one of my favorite high school memories was when me and one of my friends, Adrian, would play kendama over lunch.
My favorite high school memory was probably when I posted this picture of me on Snapchat saying if someone could bring me some chocolate cake to school. And then the next day, this boy named Connor brought me not 1, but 2 pieces of homemade chocolate cake. And that year, it was sophomore year, and we've been dating ever since, and it's almost been 2 years since we've been dating.
My favorite high school memory was the Ketchikan basketball trip.
There was one time I was hanging out with my friends and we got pizza. We went to a Gapco and then we just came back and we're just hanging out in the IT room with Mr. Hamlin. That was pretty good.
I really liked sitting with Delilah and Jasmine and Lauren in Miss Brown's classroom during lunch. And I liked walking to ACRC that one time with Mr. Johnson and that entire class. It was really fun.
Oh, shoot. Probably speech and debate class when we all pretended Braden Hoskins was dead and the whole class wrote a eulogy for him.
I would have to say when Miss Checkeye did the ding, ding, ding over the intercom to imitate the bell. Me and Gracie fell on the floor laughing so hard.
My favorite high school memory was probably playing soccer and flag football with the girls and just getting to know everyone.
My favorite high school memory is going to Disney World with Hosa. That was pretty cool, my freshman year.
So I've got to say my favorite high school memory is probably the floats, especially freshman year. I mean, it's definitely changed over the years, but I feel like the freshman floats were the best.
Probably dressing up like a hydro flask with my friends for one of the spirit days.
Going to Anchorage with the baseball team, freshman year.
Back in sophomore year, we went to Palmer for team camp, and as we were driving down there, our coach's wife was speeding and Huey was sleeping in the back, and we went over this bump and he started flying in the air.
I think my favorite high school memory was filming this video because I got to see every single senior go through their entire 4 years of high school and reflect over it. And it was something I didn't think I'd ever get to do, but something I always wanted to do. And now that I actually got to do it, it was just like the best time ever. I had so much fun and I love seeing everyone reflect and talk about high school.